2020 presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders was grilled with something other than questions last night, and an Iowa City resident was charged with kidnapping over the weekend.
The Iowa football team hosted the Rutgers Scarlet Knights this weekend.
And field hockey was also in action, and we'll have the recaps.
Warm weather is headed your way. I'll tell you more in a few minutes.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now. And thank you for tuning in. I'm Abby Napolis. An Iowa City resident has been charged with kidnapping. ICPD was contacted after a report that a 3-year-old child was picked up by a man on the street. The suspect was quickly stopped by the mother and the child was unharmed. The suspect then fled the crime scene on foot. 24-year-old Rodney Bryant was arrested later that day and is being charged with second-degree kidnapping. We will continue to bring you updates as the story unfolds. Last night, Bernie Sanders turned dollar airliner slices into free airliner slices. The presidential candidate was buying students free pizza at his tailgate. DITV reporter Cadell Coakley has more on Bernie's visit to Iowa City.
On the other side of the old Capitol building here, Bernie Sanders held a rally last night concerning all kinds of issues, national issues, student issues.
You know what? If you work 40 hours a week, you shouldn't be living in poverty. You got to raise that minimum wage from $7 1/4, a starvation wage, to $15 an hour, a living wage.
Those in attendance were very supportive of what Senator Sanders had to say. I talked to a few attendees to find out more.
I've supported Senator Sanders for a long time, since 2016. One clear reason is the way he's funded. He's funded virtually by only small dollar donations, and his policies.
And Sanders did touch on many policy topics, including medical care, student debt, labor unions, workers' rights, the economic situation, topics that University of Iowa student speakers also touched on in their opening statements. Even with Sanders touching on the historic lack of young voter turnout, the overall mood seemed to be one of hopefulness, looking to the possibility of a brighter future.
Reporting from the Pentecrest, Cadell Coakley, DITV, back to you at the desk.
We are now entering the second week of September, so let's toss it over to Mackenzie in the weather studio to see how that heat is holding up.
Thanks, Abby. After a rainy weekend, we will finally see some sun. This morning will be partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-60s. This afternoon will be much warmer with a temperature of 85. Let's take a look at our extended forecast. Tuesday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 88 and a low of 70. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 91 and a low of 72. Thursday, there is a 50% chance of scattered storms with a high of 87 and a low of 61. Looking towards the end of the week, Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 54. Go out and enjoy the warm weather, Hawkeyes. Back to you, Abby.
Thank you, Mackenzie. The Iowa Gymnast is giving special needs kids a chance to blow off some steam with their course program. The course, or Challenging Obstacles Requiring Strength and Endurance program, was designed to help children with autism get exercise and have fun. The class began last year, is divided into 2 separate stages. The first stage helps children feel comfortable with the obstacles, events, and games. The kids then move on to the second stage, where they're free to play however they want under supervision. Gymnast is currently the only Iowa City gym with special needs programs. Iowa City Autism Community co-founder Jesse Withrow hopes more businesses follow in the Gymnast's footsteps, stating, quote, "Part of inclusion isn't just having everyone share the same space. I think it's creating equal access to public spaces," end quote. Friday, the Sport and Recreation Management Department hosted an event that allowed undergraduate students to get a first-hand look into their desired field. Over 600 students were able to chat up professionals with experience in the industry. The event is centered around networking, with the hopes of helping students find potential opportunities, internships, and possibly full-time jobs. Alex Voss, event organizer, has seen major growth since the department started, stating, quote, "There were around 100 students in the first year of the symposium back in the 2011-2012 school year, and now we have upwards of 600 majors and minors," end quote. The Sports and Rec Management Department is hoping to see continual growth in the number of students and professionals participating. Well, we did just get the second football game under our belt, so let's toss it over to Kim and Maddie in the sports studio to learn more.
Well, Maddie, Iowa football just took over their first game, and it looks like they're doing really well so far.
Yeah, Kim, Iowa took on Rutgers this past weekend for the first Big Ten game of the season, and they did not disappoint.
On the first offensive drive of the game, Nate Stanley sees Amir Smith-Marset wide open for a 58-yard touchdown pass that got the Hawks on the board early.
Middle of the second quarter, Iowa up by 7, Stanley fakes a handoff and finds Tyrone Tracy in the corner of the end zone to keep Iowa rolling.
But the offense couldn't take all of the credit.
Iowa's defense was able to keep the pressure on Rutgers quarterback McLean Carter, forcing 2 turnovers and keeping the Scarlet Knights from scoring all game.
To play within my role and play my best, and I think last year I was trying to do a little bit too much, putting too much pressure on myself. This year I know that I feel very confident on the field, feel very poised, and know that my teammates have my back no matter what.
They're all tough. I mean, there's nothing easy about playing college football, and just ask any player. But every preparation is important, and they're all going to be challenges. That's how I look at it. I don't see any easy outs on our schedule. So, we'll enjoy this one, learn from it, and then hopefully move on and get ready for the next one.
Iowa will head to Ames on Saturday to take on Iowa State at 3 p.m.
Now, if you watched the Iowa game on Saturday, you probably didn't see a lot of Iowa's defense, but that's a good thing. Here's DITV sports reporter Kate Overton with more.
There's only one way to describe how Iowa's defense played against Rutgers. They were dominant. The Hawkeyes held the Scarlet Knights to just 125 total yards, which is the 4th lowest in the Kirk Ferentz era. Rutgers only managed to get 5 first downs and never made it further than Iowa's 42-yard line. A shutout in Iowa's Big Ten season opener is the start they were looking for, but some of the guys wanted even more.
We're happy about the way we played today, but we're not satisfied. You're never satisfied when you want to be great as a defense and as a unit, but it was definitely a step up from last week.
Iowa's defense was on a whole different level, and a large part of that was because of the way they played on 3rd down.
It's our job to get off the field, and we kind of made it a priority. And then once we do that, everybody knows that we have to get the job done, and then we can get off the field and kind of get a break. So I think we got that done today.
When it hits 3rd down and the stadium is at its loudest, the Hawks seem to play their best. Rutgers was just 2 for 14 on 3rd down conversions, and in week 1, Miami, Ohio was just 4 for 12. This defense is good, but like Epinesa said, they aren't satisfied with just good. Reporting from Kinnick Stadium, Kate Overton, DITV Sports.
Iowa's defense is going to have to keep it up when the Hawks take on an experienced Cyclone offense on Saturday.
The Iowa Hawkeye field hockey team finished off their weekend with a 3-1 win over Columbia on Sunday.
The Hawks are currently ranked 8th in the country and are 3-1 on the season.
Iowa dominated possession the entire game, outshooting Columbia 17-1 on goal.
And after going into the last quarter tied, goals from midfielder Katie Birch and forward Maddie Murphy helped the Hawks pull away late for the win.
Up next.
We were dominating. We had 17 shots, 17 corners. We just needed to keep pushing through, and it will come. It will we're gonna get there, and when it does, then we can kind of be like, oh, okay, and now we go again.
But we knew the goals would come if we just continued to follow the game plan that we wanted to have, and that was really to be connected and to create together, and the goals finally came.
Up next, Iowa hosts Cal on Friday and Duke on Sunday at Grant Field.
That's it from us in the sports studio today, but before we go, College Game Day is coming to Iowa State this weekend, and our TV director has a special request.
Yes, Lucy wants everyone to tweet #LucyForCollegeGameDayPicker to get on the show.
Well, good luck with that one, Lucy. Abby, back to you.
Tensions are rising on college campuses after a nationwide shortage of White Claw was announced. White Claw hard seltzers quickly became the alcoholic beverage this summer around America. Last week, the company announced a shortage of the product, sending sorority girls around the globe into a frenzy. While the future of the Claw is uncertain, many other alcohol companies have put out hard seltzers of their own in order to compete. The people still aren't satisfied because anything other than a Claw is truly disappointing. For now, make sure to responsibly enjoy no laws until there are no claws. That's all we have for you on this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now. For DITV News, I'm Abby Napolis. Have a great day, Iowa City.